I get lots of questions about me, my life, my wife, my kid, my earnings. I mean, subscribers ask me literally anything and everything under the sun, I guess, because we live in a social media, internet age. Obviously, if you know someone face to face or you meet someone face to face, you're not going to ask them, how much do you earn or why you so ugly or. But online, I guess people who follow your content, they kind of feel, oh, I know him so well because I follow his content. So people take liberties, and I'm pretty okay with people asking me all sorts of questions. So this particular female, and I know her, I've known her for some time. She says, Loy, I just want to ask you a personal question if it's okay. I said, yeah, go ahead, ask, whatever. Saying, it's regarding your sex life. I said, yeah, ask. What about my sex life? She's saying, are you still the playboy that you used to be? Are you still sex crazy? Do you still enjoy the thrill of the chase? Or do you miss it? And how many times do you have sex with your wife? And does she want more sex? So she asked me many questions related to sex. I said, since there are so many questions, I'll make a video and I'll answer it. Okay. Now, this is by no means a standard for anyone. This is just me sharing my opinion and my life. See, when you're young, when you're in your 20s, and especially you're a young man, your testosterone is at an all-time high. You're growing. There is so much of testosterone in your body. And obviously, when young men go through that phase, and all of a sudden you discover a girl and you suddenly get introduced to the world of attraction, to members of the opposite sex, and then lo and behold, one fine day, you bump into adult content, then obviously, it's like a brand new world and you want to explore and you want to experiment. And then obviously when you see porno, you see all these different styles and positions and people doing all sorts of weird things which you never knew about. You also want to try, and obviously in porn they say, oh, yum, yum, and delicious, and oh, give me more. And so you're like, oh wow, let me try that. Obviously you don't know how it's going to be. But that is when you're in your 20s or when you're 16 or whenever. Then you go through the phase where after it's brand new, then obviously you get used to it and finally it becomes part of your life and you feel like it's like anything else, normal. Like first you didn't know what was smoking and then you found out, and then it becomes second nature to you. You found out what is alcohol, started drinking, experimenting, and then you come to know what is best for you and your capacity, and you develop a style. And finally, even let's say your passion or purpose or work, and even sex. So in the same way, initially when you're young, you want to try so many things. I want to try two-some, three-some, I want to try this Kama Sutra positions, I want to do this, I want to do that. It never ends. But then you reach a pivotal point in your life where, after you've gone through all the ups and downs and the excitement, you reach a point in your life where your age catches up and various changes take place. Now, it can be different for different people. For some people, it can be, a life-changing event. Like, I've spoken to so many people, like, when they had, some incident in their family. Like, one particular young man, he was a playboy, but after his father died, it hit him like a shock, and he decided, he had to take care of his mother and other siblings, and they went through a very tough time, and he took on the leadership role and he stopped being a a playboy, he got married. He does have his fun once a while, but it's not like what it used to be. And he's only in his 30s. Then there are others who have a child and decide, I need to change for my children, or they find true love and they settle down and they say, I don't find the need. And yes, at the same time, on the other end of the spectrum, there are people who never get out of that phase. Like, for example, the expats who come to third world countries. There are so many guys in their 70s, 70s, and they still want to have sex with multiple women, young girls. I personally know some of them. They are fit as a fiddle, but they love having sex even today. They want 20-year-olds, they want young, even though they're 60, 70. So there are people who go through that. Now, with regards to me, I was hyper crazy about sex. I would have, at the highest peak, I would have like 6 different partners in a given day. 6, huh? That's kind of crazy. And I wouldn't stop, man. Even if I was with a girl who I was very passionate about, it became like a thing to prove to myself. I want to have sex like 2 hours, 3 hours. The longest I've gone is like 9 hours. Sex and stop and sex and stop and sex and stop, and like not non-stop 9 hours. Sex, stop, sex, stop, sex. Like have a shower, okay, again sex, eat something, again sex. And of course, obviously, that's not doable or practical. And you'd always target, like me, I would always target, I want to give her X number of orgasms and not stop and want her to go crazy, wild and all that. And I think given the fact that I was on steroids, my testosterone was like way too high, way too high. Okay. However, as I crossed into my 30s, this is in my 20s, as I crossed into my 30s, I realized I was not just searching for sex. Sex was the bonus. Actually, I was more interested in the thrill of the chase. To get that female, to prove it that I can get that female. To use my intelligence. And because how I realized this was, if I just met a girl and she said yes for sex, yeah, we would have sex if she was attractive. But then I wouldn't keep in touch with her. And I didn't enjoy that very much. Rather, when I would talk to someone and a connection would develop and we would be friends, and not like best friends, but I enjoyed that much more. So it was not like I didn't want to have sex, but I would rather prefer to have someone that way. And then slowly I started to realize, I think I started to experience when I would get someone who was like whom I could get along with, have similar hobbies, similar interests, like the Filipina girl whom I was a runner. I was for half marathon training I used to do, 21 kilometers. She was also an athlete. We both then moved into swimming. She was a triathlete, then cycling, and we did a lot of things together. And because we shared those common habits and traits, we both enjoyed sex much more with each other. And yes, she was attractive and we did enjoy giving each other pleasure. And I realized I was looking for that connection and all that. But obviously, because we both were highly energetic, we used to have a lot of complications and drama, fights and arguments. Not fights, arguments, just disagreements. And yes, I had a wife that time and there was no sex there, but there was plenty of sex here. So not that I recommend doing that. So then finally, I think as you grow even more older and you go through ups and downs in life, you have more responsibilities, you have to earn more, you have to take care of yourself. You're no longer the cute young guy. And as your expenses increase, your lifestyle, so then the focus comes more towards, okay, I need to earn money. And then as you get even more older, you keep thinking, I not only need to earn money, I need to think about my future. And then when that pivotal moment comes where you reach, they call the, midlife crisis. where you ask yourself, what am I doing, man? What am I doing with my life? Where am I headed? And you start seeing people who are your age, people who are your schoolmates, people who are your friends, people you have known. They have very big positions, director, CEO. They are earning big money. They are earning like 5 times, 6 times more than you. And then you begin to realize, what am I doing with my life? I'm just running behind girls while these guys are traveling the world, living in the lap of luxury, driving Rolls Royce and, having $1 million properties. And you really think, man, I need to, sort myself out. And there, you're less thinking about sex and less thinking about all those things. You start focusing on things that you love, and you realize there's a lot more things than sex, lot more other things. And that is where, you stop doing those things which don't add value. Like, I used to go to the gym and spend minimum 3 hours in the gym. Seriously, 2 hours, 3 hours in the gym, just sitting, killing time, enjoying. I completely stopped that. I stopped gym. I used to go for these triathlon, marathon, cycling, which used to, when I took it seriously at my peak days, I used to do it 3 times a week and dedicate 9 to 12 hours the whole day. Training, sleeping, meeting new coaches, traveling to new destinations. So I realized that is not consistent, man. That's not feeding me or bringing food to the table. Then, obviously, I stopped taking testosterone. So then, the sexual libido goes down. And then, as you start making these different choices, you stop spending time going out, meeting unwanted people. And that's where more seriousness comes in. And then you start focusing on, okay, what do I need to do? Work. And as you start thinking more about work and earning money, it's stressful. It is not like before. It is not like the fun and enjoyment, and you get obsessed with what you're doing, and then you no longer focus on having a physique and 6-pack abs. You're just focusing on my work, And then obviously when you reach a stage where your health is no longer holding up, your knees are busted and your back is aching and you're breathing heavy, you realize, man, I need to change my lifestyle completely. Focus on my health, focus on earning money, focus on my future. And then obviously you think, I can't do it alone. I need a wife. And that's why you get a life partner whom you don't focus on hot body or boobs or ass or sex. You ask yourself, is this the person who will be there in my time of need? Is this my true friend? Can I trust this person blindly? And so priorities change. And then the pivotal point comes when you decide to have a baby and you suddenly see this small little life in front of you, and everything changes there. Everything changes. And then the focus is that kid and earning money. And now that doesn't mean sex doesn't exist. That doesn't mean the hunger or the urge for sex is not there. It is there. Now, with regards to my wife, she's in her 30s. Of course, she feels the desire and drive more than I do for sex. 100%. She doesn't talk to me about it. She doesn't tell me, but I know it is. However, for me, I've crossed that stage. And today, if I actually evaluate, since you asked, and I've told you before, sex is once a week, sometimes goes once in 2 weeks. Sometimes it's when I'm really stressed out and there's 110 things on my plate, can be once in 3 weeks or even once in a month. Sometimes actually my wife has to remind me, you're not having sex, she'll say it. And then there are days where I want to have sex, but maybe, and my wife will say, no, I'm not, I'm having my periods, or, or she'll be like, no, I'm busy, I'm tired, can we do it next time? That is a communication you need to have with your partner. And you'll realize, okay, fine. And then, obviously, you need to relieve yourself. So just watch a, porno, use your hand, whatever, finish. Done deal. Now, compared to before, where the goal or where the intention was to prolong this for 3 hours, like I told you, even 9 hours, 3 hours, or to see how manly you can get, how much you can give each other pleasure, where you go on for a minimum, at least half an hour or 15 minutes. Now it is like, just get it done with, finish it off fast here. Because remember this, okay, when the kid is going to school, yeah, we can have sex. The whole house is there for us. But then if the kid is there, we give her a tablet and, like she likes the Samsung tablet. She plays and we finish. And I'll tell you this, you might find this stupid or silly, but even though we are having sex, I always look at the screen to see the cameras, is my daughter safe and all that. Not full, but just once a while give a glance. And then obviously when you're having sex you don't, and you want to finish it fast because you want to be sure, okay, daughter is safe. But yeah, when she's in school, we can take our time. But here, one more thing, remember, that is, it's not just about sex, not just about pleasure and all that. Sometimes you look just to hug each other, hold each other, talk to each other, be friends. There is more to life than just that one-dimensional aspect of sex. You look towards being, sometimes I'll tell you, even talking, you talk to each other, that itself is a very big thing. And you may not understand that now, but as you grow older, I think you will. So as you tend to get older, you realize that, you need to have moments, like even hugging each other. Obviously, I can't talk about sex when they're there. Imagine I say about sex or fucking or something, and they're like, hey, what is he talking? So I was saying that, sometimes me and my wifey, she just puts her head on my chest and we're lying down and we just talk. Yeah, we do have sex, but we talk for some time and we reflect on, when we got married, when we had a baby. Those are sometimes even more cherished. Obviously, since we are talking a lot about sex, the sex that we have is very normal. She's down, I'm on top. We don't do any of those hanky-panky Kama Sutra stuff. And we finish it fast, yeah. That's about it. Do I do any of the crazy, funky, outlandish stuff like, going down this and that? You'll be very surprised to know. In my younger days, I was ready to try anything and everything. Loved all the crazy stuff. But when you're with your wife, it's very different. You don't go all berserk. Yeah, there are people who go all berserk and crazy and they still have the passion. Not me. I'm sorry. I'm pretty dead in that area. I just want typical normal sex. That's it. Nothing more than that. And see, I'll tell you this. I know many people will not talk about their life. Obviously, because I'm a YouTuber and I communicate but this is the reality of many relationships. A man, when he gets married to a woman he truly loves, it's not just for sex. Sex is a small part. Seriously, small part in the equation. Because there are so many other things. Love and nurturing the relation, taking care, thinking about the future. And yes, there are the difficult moments where, you go to the washroom and you have kept your toothpaste and your toothbrush and everything proper, and then your wife goes and she smashes the toothpaste, doesn't take it from down, and keeps all the toothbrushes here. And now if you have a baby, multiply that into, the whole thing is a mess. The toothpaste may be in the water and in the bucket of water, and the toothbrush is somewhere, so I have to keep it high up, So there are a lot of other things here. Sex is the smallest part of it. And I'll tell you, it's when you reach this level of maturity and freedom, as I would call it, freedom from wanting to have sex, you divert your energy into many other projects. I'm pretty sure there are lots of men and women out there who still love sex, and even at an older age. But me, I prefer. I'm happy. I'm seriously happy with how my life is. Once a week or once in 2 weeks. And we have a perfect relationship. My wife never asks me. She never says, let's have sex. Never. And I prefer it that way because I have 110 things to worry about. Remember this one, she's just a housewife, and she and our baby, what she has to focus on: cooking, cleaning, taking care of the baby. I have to manage everything else. So I have to think of today, I have to think of tomorrow, I have to think of the future, money, customers, clients, brand, and other headaches of life that come along. So, and yes, she gives me the respect of being the man of the house. What more can you ask? So if I had to give you one advice, I would tell you this: if you're not married or whatever, as long as you can put off marriage, put it off. Not if you're a girl, if you're a guy. Okay? And when you're 40, enjoy until you're 40. And once you reach that age, then you decide, okay, now it's time to settle down. But if in case you find the perfect partner, don't get married immediately. Give it time. And yes, finish off with that excitement called sex. Finish it off. Do not make any life-changing decisions, especially marriage, when you're in that honeymoon phase. Do not, you'll regret it. Because after the honeymoon phase is over, then you see the real person as they are. Both of you will not try to impress each other, just be yourselves, and then you'll come to know, do I really want to spend my life with this person? And obviously, if you're a female, you can't wait until you're 40, 50. The reason being is childbearing. If you really want to have a child, the younger you are, the less complications, because your bones are soft. Your body can heal when you're younger. So obviously, you can't wait too long. So my only solution over here is, if you're the type who wants to get married and have children and a family, always have that agenda back of your head and keep on the lookout. And it's preferably better to search for mature men. Mature men in the sense of age and experience, who have done it all, and you can make out with the way they behave, online, offline, in front of you, in front of others. And as you spend time as a friend, you'll get to see their lifestyle. Like they say, that live-in relationship, just have a live-in relationship for a couple of years, and eventually you'll be able to make out. And then you'll understand what I'm saying. And trust me, as a female, once you give birth to a baby, sex, the drive and desire for sex increases. But it's completely negated with the fact that you have a small life that you have to take care of. Your priority will be that more than anything else. Yes, you will want sex, but you'll always be worried of that small little life that depends on you. And that will give you more joy. Pleasure? Yes, of course, sex. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. I hope I've answered most of the questions. Yes, there are a lot of questions about, hey man, do you do anal? Do you go down? I told you, don't do all that stuff now. Only when I was younger. I don't do it. I don't even talk about it to my wife. I don't even ask for it. Does my wife ask? No, she doesn't. I told you, she respects me now. So, but I do tell her. In my younger days, I was like this. So she was always like, oh, sheesh. But she knows the risk. If she would get me in the younger days, I would never be faithful. So she's very happy that she got me in the boring phase of my life. But now that I'm loyal forever, that is what a woman would value much more than anything else in the world. Not only loyalty, I provide for her, I take care of her. We have a beautiful family. Oh, see a gecko. There's a gecko there. I don't know if you can see it. It's up that window. Anyway, you guys take care. It's me signing off. Chal.